If people go, oh, hello, I'm live. Forgot
Good
about that.
job.
I know. And before anyone in the side chat brings it up, yeah, I've gone full Daniel Pratt tonight, who needs sleeves, because it is absolutely new. I don't think if we were live streaming from the surface of the sun, it would be any warmer than it is right now in this room. And we've had the air conditioning on all day and it's still boiling in here.
Beanie weather.
Yeah, and Callum's got a beanie hat on as per usual. I can just about manage to have my skin on the top of my head, let alone
No, I will say now, since I said to you, since my hair's gotten longer, it's harder to be a beanie in the summer kind of guy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to change your whole swag.
I know. My whole personality.
So the title of what is the title? I am not a good person, apparently. Now, to be honest, I was sort of half expecting this. I know I framed Friday's video as a new topic, but it's not really a new topic because I have made videos before about, right, so let me not spoil the story myself. So the video that I reacted to on Friday, the comment section has been enlightening, I think is the, would you say that's the PC way of framing this, Carl?
That's one word.
Because I know it's more accurate to say I didn't realize I had so many whiny little bitches commenting on and watching my videos.
Yeah.
But the offense police were out in full force on Friday's video. And as Uncle Bryn would say, I will tell you for why. Right, so that video came from a channel called Apex TV. I'm sure some of you are already familiar with it, because I have made a couple of videos about time travelers before. Now, when I was making that video, I had this suspicion building up inside my brain hole that that people were gonna not misunderstand the video. So people were saying things like, oh, Creaky, this is beneath you, making fun of somebody who's mentally ill. And I think somebody else, even though I've explained to people before that my channel isn't an airport, you don't need to announce your departure. But, you know, this comment was saying how disgusted he was that I was making fun of somebody with mental health issues, and he was unsubscribing because of it, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. You know, do what you like. It's a free world. You can watch me or not watch me. You know, I don't try to force people to watch me. I just like it when they do. But I cannot see any difference between the way I responded to that guy on Friday, the time traveler, and your average flat earther. Let's say CC. Why is it? And this is the thing, see, because some of these comments are coming from people who I know have been subscribed for a long time and have been commenting and been quite active in my comment section for a long time. But they are sort of, it's funny. I'm hysterical when I'm mocking flat earthers who are known for being completely mentally stable. But when I mock the guy who says he's come back in time to warn us about all the terrible things that are going to happen in 2024, because that was an older video off the channel, and somehow pointing out how completely ridiculous the things he said in that video got me flack that no flat earth video ever has. I honestly, I don't get it. I do not get it. There we are, Dyslexia Jones. Oh, I saw that. You did not do anything wrong. Having mental issues do not shield you from mockery. See, that's the thing. If you've seen Apex TV, pull Apex TV up, Carl, and put it ready so we can whack it on the screen. I just want to, show the people where Friday's video came from. So that I was going to say sorted by video tab. I think, there we are. World War III starts in 2024 from a year ago. So I just wanted to see if any of the claims he made actually happened in 2024, because, you know, he was from the future, and that's totally plausible. I think this is my interpretation of Apex TV. I think everybody that's in their videos is part of Apex TV. I don't think they have guests. For example, I've made a couple of videos in the past about time travelers, and I think on both those occasions it was Noah the time traveler. I think Noah the time traveler and what was his name? Jabba the Hutt, Yava Yavis or Yava Yavit, whatever, something like that. Again, definitely not a made up name, and he can't tell us his real name in case, you know, even though he claimed to be the emperor of this whole Yavits, he didn't call it a kingdom, did he? He called it something else. He's afraid of what people were going to do to him if he told us his real name. It had nothing to do with the fact that they don't want people looking their actors up on Facebook and IMDb and that. It's definitely not that. It's because they and them may get him if he does it. But yeah, what do you think, chat? Because I honestly I don't mind. I actually welcome criticism. It's how I sort of improve my content and steer my channel in the right direction. So, you know, if anybody's watching this on catch up and you think I'm being a whiny little bitch, I'm not. I'm just talking about it because it confuses me how I can go from being, oh, you're so funny, I love everything you publish, oh, you've said one thing I don't like, I hate you now and I'm unsubscribing and you're a terrible person. Well, I've never said I'm not a terrible person, first of all, for starters, but hello boy howdy disagrees. You're not a good person, you're a great person. Thank you, pal, very much appreciated. But is it just me, chat? Am I sort of looking for a problem where there isn't one? What do you think, pal? Or do you think it's just that people are so fickle?
Well, that's always going to be the case. Audiences are always going to be very fickle. It's an interesting one, really, because I mean, you definitely notice those things more than I do, because you told me about the comment section this morning. I went through, and like I didn't spot a lot of people saying it, but it's the irony of the comments is usually what's quite funny about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's all fun and games until it's something you. It's interesting because
and that's fine as well, because how arrogant and close-minded would I have to be to think that I can go through my entire time on YouTube, or whether it's for another year, another 10 years, whatever it may be, without ever offending anybody?
Yeah, and
that's
you're never,
fine.
And the bigger your channel gets, the more of this you will stumble across. There will be a bigger portion of people who are there just to pick holes in you rather than watch you.
Yeah, it's like,
and it's fine if that's your opinion. That is fine, but I think it's a silly opinion and quite a hypocritical one.
Yeah. Now I don't know whether Macy is trying to be funny or whether me being or not being a good person has nothing, absolutely nothing at all to do with what I do on YouTube. Now, again, this is probably obvious. I'd like to think to 99.999% of the people who watch me. I was going to go full Ali G then and give it the old 0.9999999%. But, like, Creaky is like, it's what I do in my videos. But I'm not Creaky. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? Now, there's somebody in the side chat now, Chris. A lot of you know that Chris is a friend of mine. Chris has spent quite a lot of time with me, with me, the person behind the channel. And I'm sure, without even asking him, that Chris would say that I am not like Creaky. I'm very, very different. It's a weird thing. The Mojack is allergic to allergy. I have an allergy. I gotta start reading these comments before I read them out. Oh no, you're schizophrenic. That's another thing as well, see. So if you classified my channel, then I would like to think that you would also agree with me that I'm as careful as I can be to make sure the information I'm sharing with you is accurate. Otherwise, I'm no better than the people I make videos about. I wonder how many of the people who have used this term in the comment section under my video. I wonder how many of them are actually qualified, experienced psychologists.
It is wild how comfortable people feel diagnosing people based off like a 10-minute YouTube clip.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, see, but we all do it. We all kind of start, you watch somebody and you start to feel a connection with them, but you're not always feeling a connection with the person that they are in the real world.
Yeah.
What happened then? Everything went black.
Not for me.
Oh,
maybe it's that monitor again.
Yeah, it's everything's frozen over this side.
Everything's running smoothly this side.
There we are. Oh, there we are. I'm back. I just moved now. Yeah. So where was Chris had a comment there? Yeah, but I wonder how many people who were saying that I was making fun of somebody with schizophrenia are qualified to make that diagnosis, because I can promise you, he absolutely did not say that he had any condition that would impair his ability to decide whether it is or isn't a good idea to go on the internet and claim he's a time traveler. Why do you think they pixelate their faces? I know they say it's because they can't be seen in our time because they're from the future, but no, it's because they actually don't want anybody to find out their real identity, because if you did, you'd find out that they were basically just playing a character on the internet, and that it's not real them at all.
There was something I brought up earlier, and I wonder what people's thoughts are on it.
Yeah.
So if there is anyone watching who does, feel that way, that it was in some type of way punching down whatever you want to, however you want to phrase it, right? The schizophrenic thing, which I would disagree with, but whatever. Would you feel the same way then about a video or a documentary where a journalist goes and meets up with a person who claims to have been abducted by aliens, because they're convinced of it and they're telling you that these beings came, that these voices spoke, etc., etc.? What is the separation between that and these time traveler people?
Yeah. I just saw something in the side chat now. I've been scrolling, but I can't bloody find it for a second. Somebody was asking, how do I feel about these hateful well, they're not hateful. They're just blatantly incorrect.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of wild conclusions being jumped to.
Yeah. And and what we've all got to try and remember as well, I hope this isn't coming across as sort of lecture or anything, but we all enjoy showing how wrong flat earthers are. It's kind of my thing. It's what I do on YouTube, and it's what you all enjoy watching. I don't understand why it's okay to make fun of those people, but it's not okay to make fun of somebody who says he's from the future. Unless, of course, I'm completely wrong and somebody who made that comment actually is a psychiatrist, so they are qualified to make a diagnosis. But even then, I seriously doubt that even the most qualified psychologist or psychiatrist would be able to accurately diagnose somebody's mental health just by watching one video of them with a pixelated face and a disguised voice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we make fun of flat earthers for doing exactly that sort of thing. Jumping to completely the wrong conclusion. It's I don't know. Elizabeth Anderson says Creaky does always seem empathetic to the people he's dunked on, though. That Apex channel is exploitative of those people, so it feels extra harsh and less empathetic than usual. Yeah, again, I can see where you're coming from, but I'm not sure I can completely agree with that either, because those people aren't forced into making those videos.
I guess that question perfectly lines up with my comparison with Aliens. I
Yeah.
wonder, Elizabeth Anderson, please tell me if you do. Would you feel the same way if it was someone claiming to be abducted by aliens?
Yeah.
Because it's an equally ridiculous thing to say, and both examples require you to hear voices, I guess.
Because I could tell you exactly what would have happened in a scenario like that. Somebody who works on Apex TV knows that guy, and they've said, "Oh, do you fancy being in one of our videos? Nobody will know who you are. We'll disguise your voice. We'll give you a script so you know exactly. All you got to do is sit there and like have a chat with me like you would when we meet in the pub on a Sunday night." X Penguin 95. Good evening. So you're not the person you pretend to be on screen. What a novel concept. Next thing you'll be telling me Mr. T was a TV character and not a real mercenary. Well, I don't know if I go that far. Mr. T,
He pities the fool.
He does pity the fool.
I pity the fool that believes in a flat earth.
Thank you. I would classify this channel as common sense, but common sense isn't that common anymore. Bubba, you are absolutely right, pal. It is surprisingly uncommon. You laugh at their arguments, not the person. That's true. That's true. That's what I try to do. But then some people will say things like, "Oh yeah, but you'll play." I don't know, like usually when I make a Dan Pratt video, although I probably won't be doing it anymore because I've got used to there not being any background music now. But I would always play some sort of banjo music, implying, I forgot what the bloody film's called now.
Deliverance.
Yeah. Deliverance. Yeah. So I was part of the joke about Daniel Pratt was implying that he belongs in Deliverance. Not that it's, you wouldn't have to stretch much to make that implication reality, in my humble opinion. Make a video of the comments and pity the fools. That's the thing, see, people do ask me why I never, like Simon Dan makes an angry comments video or a mean comments video. I forget what Dan calls them. But I don't get that many mean or I think we were talking about this a little bit last week when we called, say, I think because my approach is so different to everyone else.
Yeah, I think a lot of, yeah, we were.
I would imagine they struggle. Thank you, Andy. I would imagine they struggle to know how to, because I would imagine they are sort of also, you don't attack the person, you attack the idea. But I think because of the way I present the ideas or the explanations about why their ideas are wrong is so far removed from what they're used to dealing with from like Simon Dan, Toon and FTFE and all the other boys. I think they don't know, they don't know how to handle me type of thing, if that makes any sense. It didn't make much sense to me and I said it. Me says, "Are you feeling left out? I'll start leaving mean comments." I do get mean comments, but they're never really things I could make a video about. Like 9 times out of 10, to clean up the meanest type of comment I get, it's basically looking like I do. I can't possibly know what I'm talking about. Because, once you get tattoos and you go bald and all that kind of thing and get old, then you suddenly stop being able to understand things that you read about. So I think that's how it works anyway. The Mojek says, "I don't care what they say, your videos are spot on." I've always said as well that my channel is a bit Marmite. Some people will really like it, some people will hate it, and I'm fine with that. If I wanted to make friends, I wouldn't have created a channel where my sole purpose is to tell people that they're wrong about a particular thing. I would have, I don't know, started a cookery channel or I don't know, but not a conspiracy theorist theory debunking channel. It's oh, hang on a second. Callum, look on Amazon. Alien Mystery Solved by William Swithin. It's your dad. Yeah, Taff, right? Pull it up, Cal. Because I remember.
I don't know if I want to put Amazon up though. I don't know what information is on the screen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, pull it up and have a look.
Yeah, I'll have a look first.
Worst comes to the worst.
Say it again. What was it called?
Oh,
don't worry.
Alien Mystery Solved by William Swithin. And that's just reminded me of something as well. And let me just scroll back here. So right at the beginning of the stream, before anyone was here, there was just a couple of people, as there is most weeks, in and out of the chat, just, you know, saying hello and saying see you later, all that kind of usual stuff. Now, I don't know how many of you have been here like for a long, long time, but years ago, I made a couple of videos about a flat earther called Dirk Jensen, and he dips in and out from time to time. But this comment, and I'll go back to what I was saying about appearance in a minute now. It's true you aren't a good person at all. The fact that people believe in silly things doesn't justify doxing or trying to destroy people's lives. So in the opinion of a flat earther, and, you know, I there we are, and I will show my reply as well. Save you going back. I said, I'm sure you have many examples of me doxing and destroying people's lives. Can anybody give me an example? Does anybody know what Dirk the flat earther might mean? Or is he just being a flat earther? It's I thought Taffy had fallen off the flat earth. I think he's retired from his position as the world's foremost authority on completely misunderstanding the moon landings. Rob Hoyle says, I unsubscribed from FTFE for that 7-hour stream on Witsit, not because it was nasty or punching down. I'm guessing that's because it was childish and repetitive playground bullying. I honestly do try to go to I don't want to even use the word attack, but I always try to make sure that it's the claim or the idea that that I go after and not the person. But
I have this book up, but I don't know what you want me to do with it.
Yeah, is there anything?
There's nothing on there because it's not available.
Yeah,
so.
it's chuck it on the screen because, and I think I did this in a video before. He had. Are there any reviews on this? Oh, there's one review. There is precisely nothing to like. The entire book represents rampant insanity. The same author, if the term may be used of him, has a website under the name Expat Taffy, one about the Titanic. I forgot about that as well. He's the world's foremost authority on the Titanic didn't sink. They swapped it and nobody noticed, which is spectacularly... Was that say lunatic? It's not quite big enough. That doesn't make sense.
Which is spectacular.
This, however, is simply on another level.
Very funny.
Go back on that page. Just click back one and click on his name there and see if his other books come up. Oh, that's the only one that's on there now. He had others on there as well. Bri, am I remembering that right, Bri? Didn't he have other books on there as well? I think he did. Okay, here is a comment for your video. Your IQ is the same as the number of hairs on your head. Oops, I forgot your beard is technically still on your head. Exactly. But thank you for the effort, Bubba, and thank you very much indeed for the support. It is thoroughly appreciated. Please subscribe. Do you know what I think it is with Taff? I think he is one of those people. He is completely harmless, right? But I think he's just an older, he's a retired guy, you know, he hasn't really got anything to do. He lives in Thailand. The weather's always beautiful. The sun is out. He can do whatever he likes. And that's how he's chosen to spend his, you know, like some people, you know, will retire and then they play golf, every other day, or they'll take up, I don't know, bloody parasailing or some other weirdness like that. Yeah, I agree with you, me. He is very similar to Mikey Smith. Generally harmless, spectacularly stupid. Oh, or is that too mean? You know, I'm going to have to start checking myself. But yeah, I agree with you, me. He's another here's another Mikey Smith. He's generally the scene of the rabbit.
That's actually a great example.
Yeah, and that brings me back to what I distracted myself from saying earlier about my appearance. That's kind of where mean comments are on my channel. You're bald and you wear glasses, as if I'd never seen myself in a mirror or watched one of my own videos. I thought it was starting to take me a long time to wash my face. Maybe I should have seen that as a clue. But that's what I mean. That's the sort of mean comment I get. You're old, you're bald, sometimes four eyes if they're feeling particularly grown up, because all adults call other adults who wear glasses four eyes. Baldy, because again, I hadn't noticed I didn't have any hair. And just that sort of, like somebody said earlier on about the Witsit stream, and it felt like it was just like something that went on in the schoolyard. Well, I've said it in videos. That's what a lot of flat earthers are like. It's, they're in a debate, we'll say, against FTFE. And when they rage quit, they're basically going, you smell and my dad's going to beat you with dad up, and they leave. It's that sort of childish, but I suppose if you believe the earth is flat, then being, a childlike, or having, a childlike belief system is required, because I don't know. They seriously lack creativity and insulting you. They made an entire damn song about Simon Dan.
Someone made a song about you before, I remember.
Yeah, it was
That was years ago.
Yeah, I've forgotten his name now. He's still about, and he still does that. And he's a really talented guy.
Is he?
He is. Very, very talented musician.
That's funny.
I've forgotten his name now. We best not try and figure out what it is, in case he's like Beetlejuice, you say it 3 times and the next thing he's in the side chat. You've got a shit arm and that's a bad tattoo. Again, it's Andy, the devil's marks on your skin. Yeah. It's because I think we said this in last week's stream as well. The short, the one that had 1.5 mil views, the guy with loads of tattoos all over his face, and he had his ears stretched, but he had weights in them and all that. And it's like people were commenting on that. And again, people who've been here for a long time and they were saying things like, look at his face. How can you got face tattoos? So if I say this right, and I've got face tattoos, but that guy who had more face tattoos than me, a lot more, admittedly.
Oh, he had full coverage.
Yeah, if he says it's by default wrong, because he's very, very, very heavily tattooed everywhere, including his face.
Yeah, because
I don't like that. Look, it's not for me, but to each their own, who are we to judge? Yeah, these are the sorts of comments I get, which is why they're, I suppose I could make them into a funny mean comments video, but I don't know. Bad comment is, you scare my sheep. Well, I don't know if that would be a bad comment. That would just be...
It's a compliment, Will.
Yeah, it is. Shows him a bit of a stud muffin. Oh, there we are. Brian knows the score. All Welshmen. All Welshmen scare sheep. Storm, I scream mint sauce out the window every time I drive past sheep. And we drive past a lot of sheep in Wales. It's not a negative stereotype to say there are a lot of sheep in Wales, because there are. As long as it doesn't actually bother you, we don't need you staying up at night over mean. No, I don't. Honestly, the day I start caring about mean comments is the day that I should no longer be on YouTube, because unfortunately it just is part of it, and I don't mind.
As soon as you put yourself out there,
exactly,
and especially in this day and age, there's a comment section right underneath every video. You're able to say whatever you want.
Yeah, and in the case of live streams, there's a comment section right there
as we go
in real time.
Yeah,
that we've got control over. Yeah, but people are not very imaginative in the way they insult me, and it doesn't bother me.
I need to pull up a comment here. I don't always agree with you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to say mean things about you. That's childish.
Yeah.
The reason I brought that up was because that's also a good point. I think it is very important, especially in these times, to purposefully consume content from people you don't always agree with.
Yeah.
I actively do it because the last thing you want to do is back yourself into this internet bubble.
Yeah.
Where you're having your own, everything is confirmation bias. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, great. I actively will watch people who I know I'm going to disagree with what they say.
Yeah.
But I find insight in the
Yeah.
disagreement, and it'll either, it can go one of two ways. It either solidifies my current opinions because I'm able to justify them, or
changes them.
It allows me to think differently on an opinion I might have held for a long time. And then you grow as a person. I do think it's very important. And if you only consume content from people you constantly agree with,
it's called an echo chamber.
I would encourage you to broaden your viewing habits.
So basically, the address that you just made then fits every single flat earther on the internet.
I mean, yeah.
Because they do the exact opposite of what you just said. They stay within their own little bubble. AKA echo chamber, where they only ever hear people saying things that they already agree with. That's confirmation bias. It's an echo chamber. It's stopping you from learning new things and even learning new skills. I know more about physics now as a direct result of having this channel than, like, when I was in school and I did physics, I literally couldn't have cared less about it.
Yeah, I wasn't physics twice.
In the slight, it was boring. What the bloody physics? I'm not ever going to space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be an astronaut.
Do you know what's funny is you probably actually uttered the words, I'm never going to need this.
Yeah, exactly. And as it turns out now, but now that I'm old, I enjoy it as well. And all the stuff I've learned now is, there we are. There was somebody, I can't remember if I saw this on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts, and she's a physicist. She is a redhead. Oh, what the bloody hell is her name? Anyway, it's boiling hot everywhere in the UK, and we're all whiny little babies about it. Today is too hot. Tomorrow we'll be Tomorrow, if I stream again, I'll probably have a beanie hat and a fur coat on, and I will be sat here as if I'm just about to start my own expedition down to the Antarctic. The weather is literally... Chris, my mate, wants to come and visit us in the UK next year. He said, when's the best time to come? When will I get good weather? I told him to roll a 6 and hope for the best, because that's what it's like in the UK.
Yeah, I don't think we knew it was going to be this hot the last couple of days.
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely stifling. But yeah, there was a comment. Now, I know I've just cut myself off. There we are. People are saying, have we worked out the 10 command? And you know the funny thing is, Cal, and you'll have to look for this in case I break something.
I saw the comment.
You saw somebody, so we'll pull that up now when we might...
someone did the 10 commandments.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do, Chris. So bring some swim shorts, some long thermal underwear, bring lots of t-shirts, but even more sweaters. Pack your big coat. And you'll either need all of them or none of them except your swimming trunks. It is insanely unpredictable over here. The worst people for insults, devout Christians if you say you're an atheist. Yeah. I'm going to try and find this video again because I would be interested in covering it myself, if it's coverable. Somebody has made a documentary about Kenneth Copeland. And why sort of the history of his evolution into that demon in human form that we all see on the internet. And I've watched little bits of it. I've watched the clips. Like the clips we make of this show, and you can enjoy consuming my 2-hour waffle in smaller segments. But yeah, it looks really, really. Warren, I agree with you 200%, pal. He is. He's absolutely. I can't even think of an appropriate word to describe him that isn't rude. But yeah, he's just a horrible, horrible individual. Good idea, Creaky Extra. How did I do that?
What a fantastic idea, Creaky Extra.
Didn't even move my hands. Professor Creaky. But mathematical, if I jumped off a tall building at 30 miles per hour and I hit the top of a moving train, slow in from 30 to 10 miles per hour, would it also reduce the speed of my impact point? Not a clue, pal. I said I liked physics, not that I knew it all.
Should we read out the 10?
How does Creaky Extra not have an extra? He doesn't deserve one.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, actually, isn't it?
Hasn't it got? Yeah,
no, it hasn't.
Put a wrench on it, Carl,
Yeah,
because thank you for pointing that out, me. Unless the other Creaky confiscated it from him. Right, sorry. Yeah, I did. Oh no, I've done the 2 super chats. My apologies. They were still in there, and I thought I hadn't done them. Right, so I like physics, and I'm a physicist. Well, that's bloody handy, Scotty. It honestly, when I was an older teen studying physics in school, I hated it. I found it boring. I didn't understand it. But do you know the funny thing is, right? And I don't know if this will sound weird or if I'll just poorly explain it, but really, you'd be better off going to school when you were an adult.
Yeah,
I know that's stupid, right? But what I mean is, I'd go to school now and take physics.
Yeah,
because I would already have applications I could make with that physics in what I'm doing as my day job. And I don't know what we would do with people when, before they reached adulthood and went to school, like, I don't know, down the mines, is it like they used to?
yeah. Throw the kids in the mines.
Yeah, my grandpa started working in the tin works when he was 9.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And my other grandpa started working. No, sorry. My paternal grandfather started working underground digging for coal when he was 10, and my maternal grandfather started working in the tin plate works when he was 11.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely bonkers.
And I say funny. It's crazy that the reasoning for that was, well, the children are small, so they can fit.
But it's nuts, though, isn't it? So basically, back in, and this is the early 1900s, they were both born between, one was 1910 and 1920-something. Say one born in 1910, back in those days, you had to go to school until you didn't want to go to school anymore, basically.
Yeah, because it was like,
I'm not going to school. I'm going to go and dig coal and earn money and help mom and dad. And that was just the way it was. And it was admirable. But you were essentially, nursery school, junior school, infant school, that's more about shaping you as a person than actually teaching you any.
It's more teaching you the very basics.
I know reading and writing. Yeah. They basically are preparing you for when you start comprehensive school or high school, so that you are equipped to learn the things that are taught at that age bracket.
Yeah, I think a lot of primary school is social skills.
Yeah. And teaching you how to be a person, isn't it? And arming you with the things you need to actually learn when you get to big school.
Yeah.
But the point I was trying to make is that, like, in my grandparents' days, they got to the age where they're about to start learning useful and, skills that certain employers would want, and, this, that, and the other. And they just, no, we're done with school now.
Yeah.
We'll skip the learning part and we'll go and dig coal or work in a tin works and risk our lives every day, even though we're only children. It's just what children do now. Bonkers it is. It's just how different it is now. And Jesus, now, if you put one too many crisp packet in a black bag, the bin men won't pick it up in case they hurt
I
themselves.
know.
Pussies. Pick them up. Oh my, I don't get how it's like
I don't know.
society is becoming softer.
I don't know as well if with the bin situation, this is very local conversation, I guess, but Swansea Council specifically are useless. Absolutely useless.
Yeah, they're not the best, that's for sure.
Like we basically have to do. Yeah, let's not go into bin day talk. Is not exactly riveting.
I know somebody who did 6 months in prison for talking shit about somebody on Twitter. So yeah, we'll probably change the. I don't think I would do well in prison.
No.
But yeah, it's. I think as people, we just life is. And God, this is such an old man thing to say, but life is so much easier now than it was. And I know it's really hard for a lot of people, right? And I'm not saying that it's not, but I just mean in general, you know.
It's different challenges of today, innit? Because I do think, obviously I know you don't mean that, but to say life is easier, I would disagree with that statement, but I understand what you're saying is, you know, in terms of comfortability, in a sense, even the minimum is probably equal to, if not more than 100 years ago.
Yeah, let me explain what I mean by easier, because what I mean by easier is like when I was in school studying physics, we'll stay on the topic of physics, and I needed to look something up for my exams or for a project or a piece of coursework. I had to leave my house and get taken to the library and then go and sit in the library being shushed every 2 seconds by the librarian because that's just the thing they do.
So I think what you're saying really is life is much more accessible.
Yeah, that's what I mean by easier. Is it the things that we have to do is they're a lot easier for us to do those things now than even when I was a kid. Where do you think the soft entitled attitude society seems to come? Hang on a second, let me read that again. Where do you think the soft entitled attitude society seems to have these days comes from? What happened to common sense? I don't know. It's just a sign of the times, isn't it? And I couldn't.
I have an interest in, you know, it's not exactly a hot take, but I have a different take on the soft society thing. I would argue every single generation has thought that the next generation is too soft.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah, definitely.
Your generation were probably soft compared to, you know, your parents' generation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then, you know, his father, who would have been in the mines at 10, while he was playing in the garden at 10, he was probably going, oh, your generation is so soft when I was your age. So I think it is more that I don't think people are that soft these days. I think every older generation thinks the younger generation is soft.
Yeah, that's a really good way of describing it, actually. And it's 100% right, because it's just, you know, whether it's through technological advancements or whatever, you know, just general changes to society overall. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
What we are now is lazy.
Yeah, you know, my dad probably thinks my life's a lot easier than his was when he was young. And do you know what I mean?
We were only talking recently about how he grew up in one of those
prefabricated house.
Which were temporary homes built post World War II.
Yeah. Well, he was born in a hospital down the Gower because the day he was born, Swansea was being bombed.
Yeah.
You know, and he loves telling people where he was born and why he was born there.
He was telling me the other day where he was born.
I know.
And I know that story. You know, I've known that story.
He told me again on was it Saturday they called? He told me again on Saturday.
Yeah, and he makes me laugh because he always describes it. Oh, you know, when you're down the Gower and you're going down this road, he'll always describe to me exactly where the hospital is. I'm like, I know, Gramps. I know.
Drunk ventriloquist, what are you saying? Love to tell you a story. The 6 foot tall, built like a brick shit house, refused to pick up the refuse. Same word. Yeah, I know, right? My 5'2" wife, she is so. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. So, Mrs. Blinder is 5'1", right? She's practically pocket sized. Because I'm working all the time, usually she will have dragged the bins out before I've even finished work. And I always say, yeah, you should have called whatever. She doesn't. She's very independent. She will do it. But then, like the drunken ventriloquist says, then the bin man comes around and he's a big burly guy. And I'm not picking that up. My back. And I'm like, mate, come on. It's a bin bag. Pick it up and chuck it in the back of your lorry. It's kind of your job. I don't get. But again, that would tie into what I mean about things being, there's too many outs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All they've got to do is go, no, that's too heavy. I'm not picking that up.
Yeah.
Union and power to the people and, I'll sue you. And
I feel like it's hard. It's quite weird having this conversation because I feel like your look at it will be different from mine.
Yeah,
just
of course it will.
We're different generations.
Yeah.
Because everything you just said then, in theory, I don't disagree, but I would look at it in a completely different way.
Because you're a different generation,
the next generation.
In the same way as Grandpa would look at it differently to me because he's a different generation.
Yeah, because what are you? Gen X is what
Gen
you
X,
are.
I am
apparently. And then I'm a weird one, see, because I was born in 1996. It depends who you ask.
Yeah.
Like, there's the phrase zillennial, which is because I'm kind of, some people will say I'm the first year of Gen Z, but some people will say I'm the last year of millennial. It just, I'm somewhere in the abyss. I'm in purgatory.
Well, apparently I'm Gen X, and Gen X is, without doubt, it's not even, you can't even debate it because it's undebatable. But Gen X is the best generation. Doesn't matter what anyone says. Stating the obvious. And you are stating the obvious. I actually said this. I think we talked. I don't know why we end up talking about bin men every week, but I remember having
last week.
They used to come around the back garden. We had a big galvanized bin, like you say. They used to open the bin, take the bin bag, the refuse sack out, take it away, throw it in the lorry. Then they would come back, put an empty bin bag in there, so you didn't have to, and so it goes, they just did it every week. It's, I don't know. Times are changing, and
times are definitely changing. And do you know what's actually funny? I'm enjoying this conversation. I was going to stay on this generational divide. So it's interesting because with stuff like that, I guess societal stuff, we tend to view things differently. But then, technology-wise, we might as well switch generations.
Technology. I'm way ahead of you with tech.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Right. Where were we the other day when you were telling me my phone is like 10 updates behind? How long ago was that?
I don't know, a couple of weeks ago.
I still haven't updated my phone. I had a notification the other day basically telling me if I don't update my phone in the next 20 days, my phone's gonna, I don't know. And I still haven't updated it because I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Because now I know there's going to be a visible difference, and that irks me.
And I check on the 1st of every month to see if there's an update available for my phone.
Yeah,
because I want to be running the latest version of the software. Because I've said, was it you? Or was it Jordan? I said it too earlier on about it was Japan, wasn't it? But in Japan now, they've got, so I don't know if anybody watching this now has seen the Will Smith film, I, Robot. The assistance robots, they exist now.
I thought it was in China.
Is it? I can't remember.
China.
I can't remember if
I think it's China.
China or Japan. I can't.
Wait there, just in case we accidentally do a racism.
Yeah, I can't remember now whether it was, but basically, and so as soon as I saw that.
Yeah, it's China.
It's China, is it? I thought it was Japan.
No.
But as soon as I saw that, first thing I did was I had to look how much they were. And are they available in the UK yet?
Would you? Okay.
Yeah, I would buy one.
So if they were commercially available in the UK and they were affordable,
Yeah.
would you order one straight away?
Yeah, and replace you with him.
Damn. They took our jobs.
Yeah, exactly. They took our jobs. Yeah, they took our jobs. But no, I just love people have asked me as well, see, what would I do if I wasn't doing this? I would probably be a tech channel because I love everything about it. I spend way more time watching videos of my favorite channel that's nothing to do with anything any of us talk about is Android Authority. And it's basically I think they're about 150. They're not a gigantic channel, but I watch every single piece of content they publish because it's always about Android and it's always about pure Android, which is what Pixel devices run.
Yeah, and then there's me, who I don't even really know what that means.
It's Android without all the bloatware and all the shitty Samsung apps and all that kind of bloatware it's generally referred to. Dan Palmer, good evening, young Daniel. How are you? Am I the only person who says Gen Z? Yes, you are.
Yeah, that is weird. No, that is weird because there are certain. I would never say Z. Z is an Americanization.
Yeah.
Z is correct. But I would never say, "Oh, Dad, have you heard that new Jay-Z song?"
Yeah, exactly. It's just
for some reason Gen Z sounds wrong.
I think like Americans will pronounce it Z.
Yeah,
but we will pronounce it
correctly.
In which correctly, obviously. But we will also the pronunciation will depend on the use. So you wouldn't say, have you heard the new Jay-Z song? You'd say Jay-Z.
Yeah, but I think only Gen Z and Jay-Z are the only exceptions. I think everything else is Z, is it not?
Yes, somebody... The reason I carried on talking about Z is because one of my really...
ZZ top.
Yeah, Z, I just knocked my Mr. Doodle tissues on the floor. Right, okay, I'll recover them shortly. It's because I think let me see if I can remember the joke now. It was the guy next door asked if we enjoyed our trip to the to see the Ebras and the I can't remember the other thing.
And you had a main time.
Yeah, did you have a main
the Ebras at the ooh?
Yeah, and my wife asked who it was, and I said, "Oh, just our nosy neighbour."
Yeah, but
because I had to say Z. If I had said, "Oh, that was just our nosy neighbour,"
yeah, that's different.
That doesn't mean anything, and it's not a joke.
Yeah, that's a joke though.
But I think, well, I do anyway.
Oh yeah, wait, maybe... no, sorry. Dragon Ball Z. No, you are right.
Yeah,
there's
Dragon Ball Z.
No, there's more exceptions than just those two.
Yeah, but what that's starting to sound like, Jay-Z, Dragon Ball Z.
If it's on its own,
very American.
No, Dragon Ball Z is Japanese.
No, I know it's Japanese. I know it's anime. I'm not that old. But what I mean is, it's something that I'm just blaming America. That it's Dragon Ball Z because Americans say there's lots more of them than there are Welsh people, for example.
Yeah.
So we will just say, yes, Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z makes you sound
exactly
special.
That's what I mean. It is Americanization of
Yeah. But I know myself, right? But I blame YouTube for this. And the fact that the biggest portion of my audience is American. I think that if you're... So I'm convinced that when we go out to visit Chris, we're in Jersey for 2 weeks, nothing changes. But I think if I stayed out there for 2 years and then came back, I think I would have a certain twang to the way I speak, because the same as my younger brother. My younger brother's a police officer, lives in England. Boo! And he sounds very different to me when he speaks. And it's not because he's posh and I'm not. It's because he has spent so many years throughout his career in the police force adapting the way he naturally speaks so that people don't go, what? What do you say? I didn't understand that. Oh, where the grapes come from. now it's just the way he speaks. So I think that if you spent, say, 2 years out in the good old US of A, you would pick up a certain twang.
You do. Yeah, definitely.
Because gas station would become the normal way of saying I'm going to the petrol station.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I made a really off-the-cuff remark in one of my videos once about Wawa, which is a filling station.
Yeah.
The comment section went mental.
What? How do you know about Wawa?
How does Creaky know about... How did you so casually reference Wawa? Because I go there all the time when I'm in America. It's just weird. Very, very weird.
You definitely pick up stuff, though, because
oh, yeah, 100%.
Even, you know, we might have talked about this, but even my dialect kind of was adapted in 3 months in Thailand.
Yeah.
Remember when we were stood outside the hotel after you'd picked us up from the airport? That guy didn't know where, he couldn't place my accent. He could place everyone else was Welsh.
Yeah.
But he said I kind of sounded like I was from Bristol. And all it was is I got used to adapting my speech.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The only person I spoke to like a human, what it felt like, was Jordan, the person I was with.
Yeah. And if you do that for an extended period of time,
it just becomes
habit. It's habit forming. And you would have this weird sort of, is he Welsh? Is he American? Or is he Welsh? Is he Thai? Well, clearly not Thai. But you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Mike N. Strain. Wawa, yeah. Wawa. Oh, am I pronouncing it wrong? Is it Wawa?
Where?
I don't know. Welsh grapes, hemorrhoids. You got it in one. You got it in one storm. Dan Palmer. I spent 2 months in that. Ooh, tell me you're posh without saying you're posh. Is it Dan? I just couldn't. Is that last word spell or am I misreading it? I just could. MN.
I think it's meant to say couldn't, but I don't know. Couldn't what? Couldn't what, Dan Palmer? Tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Dan. Everybody's waiting now. Mike has never heard of. Yes, young Michael. But are you in the US of A? And I think Chris has probably got bored and left already. But I think Wawa is a New York, New Jersey thing. It's a chain of
the East
filling
Coast
stations.
thing.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, because I know. Is it Texas? And there might be other places, but they've got Buc-ee's.
Yeah, and I think so. Yeah, so Mike, if you haven't heard of it, unless you're from Jersey or New York, you may not have, or I could be completely wrong. And
so he says he's
in the south. Yeah, of.
Well, you might be able to tell me then. Is assuming you mean in the States.
Yeah,
is Buc-ee's a Texas thing or is it a South thing? And is Wawa an East Coast thing or a New York thing?
Ideology is global, then, Carl. Oh, that's what we were doing, weren't we? We were pulling up the 10 tidy commandments.
Oh, yeah, the 10 tidy commandments.
Yeah, you find the 10 tidy commandments while I press this button.
Oh, no, I got them. They're ready.
Right, Dave.
Because I think Dave McKeegan is in the house. Or maybe he's just popped in, hoped I wouldn't see him, and he's left. I spent 2 months in LA, and I just couldn't say any American words.
Oh, what?
Dan, hang on a sec. Dan, they speak English in America. What are you on about? What do you mean you couldn't say any American words? I know a lot of Americans think they invented English, but they didn't. They just butchered it and then misspelled 90% of it.
I have the commandments ready.
Right, whip them out. Oh, Chris is here. I have to stick around for the 10 commandments, being Pope and all that. You absolute, Chris, I forgot. Spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch and all that nonsense.
Chris, you're very lucky. You almost ended up in one of the clips thumbnails the other day, but I couldn't find a good photo of you that didn't also have Mrs. Blinder in it.
Right, Dave.
Dave McKeegan, social media is definitely Americanizing the younger generation. My kids keep saying dollars, even though I say pounds. They say gas, but I say fuel, and they say trash. Oh, dear me. You're a hell of a boy, you knew. Shit anyway, Dave. Well, that's what I heard anyway after your trip to Antarctica.
Right,
could be completely wrong. Right, go on then, Carl. Pull him up. I can't remember. I can't see that yet, right? Because I haven't gone big. I can't remember what we've pulled up or why we've pulled it up. What is that?
Okay. Do you know what, right? We're gonna
You
sit-
can't either, can
No,
you?
I can.
Oh, it's the 10 tidy
damn.
commandments.
I was going to say, we're going to sit here in silence until you
Yeah.
remember. Yes, the 10 tidy commandments.
Right, so, thou shalt not spread nonsense before me. I am the blinder, the debunker. If thy theory begins with, I saw a video, prepare thyself for a verbal mop. I like that one.
I like that.
And I like the fact that he hasn't numbered them either, so we can order them in, by most important to least important. Thou shalt not worship false influences, especially those who think the moon is a lampshade and gravity is a government hoax. I like that one as well. Who submitted these? Simon 8378. Thou shalt not take the name of science in vain. Sorry, there's no try in there, is it? Saying quantum doesn't make your essential oils work, love. Remember the laundry day and keep it tidy. 6 days shalt thou toil, sorry, not boil, but on the 7th thou shalt iron and reflect on the curvature of earth. Honor thy mam and thy nan, for they knew the earth was round before you could spell algorithm. Thou shalt not commit flat earthery. If thou thinkest Australia is a hoax, thou art beyond even the reach of rabbit. Thou shalt not steal the stew, especially not during Lent, or from Mildred. She has a spoon and she knows how to use it. Thou shalt not bear false TikToks. If thy lips speak lies, thy Wi-Fi shall be smitten. I like that one as well. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's cheese grater, nor his daffodils, nor his perfectly aligned bins. Oh, I can't laugh at perfectly aligned bins. I literally line the bins up all the time. I've just got this thing about things being a certain way, and there is no other way. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbours. Oh, we just read that one. Thou shalt not deny the moon landings, for they were glorious, filmed not in a studio, but in the heavens, as Neil Armstrong never once tripped over a boom mine. I like them. Please subscribe. I'm here for my thumbs up. Yeah, I had a thumbs up myself about a month back. It was my first time as well. It was nowhere near as bad as I thought.
Relax, I be a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit like that episode of Family Guy, but without the inappropriate humor after the event. But yeah, I've had my first thumbs up as well, and it was interesting. We'll say. Beneath my sweat is sweating. Do you know, I would have probably known that was a comment from somebody from Wales if they hadn't said they were from Neath. I would have still known my sweat is sweating. I know, it's been absolutely ridiculous here today. Just insane. My auntie and uncle are over visiting from Ireland, right? And they lived in the Caribbean for more than 20 years. My uncle worked in Barbados and Jamaica was one of the islands he didn't work on. The British Virgin Islands. He lived and worked all over the Caribbean. And my auntie lived with him, obviously. And even she thought it was hot here today and yesterday. She tried to go to the beach yesterday. No, on Friday, I think it was. And she couldn't stick. She had to keep moving. And, she lived in the Caribbean for 20 years and Swansea Beach was too hot.
Yeah, and it was funny because she was telling me earlier that she was surprised that there was no one at the beach. So yeah, because it's boiling hot and it's, I know that sounds like perfect beach weather.
I didn't have the heart to tell her that where she was sitting was the more murdery end.
Well, yeah, that was kind of also because she was like, we parked in the city centre and we went to by the water, and I was like, because that's.
Yeah. I could smell rotten meat all the time, though.
Yeah,
that'll be all the bodies.
yeah. Swansea Beach doesn't have the best.
No,
there are so many. There are dozens of better beaches you can go to that are within 20 minutes of that beach.
Barry Island Beach. I must go on T-Log Flume. Bro, you're not driving and participating in the side chat again, are you? It's the log flume. You better make it sharpish, Bri, because I think the amusement park's gone. Dave Messer, how's the balloon experiment going? It's doing my nothing.
Yeah, it's getting frustrating.
It's starting to get frustrating now. I've got to try and put something in the diary and get a bloody.
It just feels like we're sitting on our hands at the minute because we're waiting on a phone call, but it never seems to be coming.
Yeah.
We've had amazing weather the last couple of days. So where's the phone call been?
Yeah, exactly. We may have to come up with a plan B. Fat finger syndrome. I suffer from dyslexic fingers myself, right? But only when I'm on my phone. I'm fine on a computer keyboard, but when I'm on my phone, it's dyslexic fingers. Ben Shapiro, good evening, pal. I'm sure it's not the real Ben Shapiro, and if it is, no boss. Skill dude, how are you, pal? My doctor has never been able to do the man test. My body went into lockdown. Oh, mine didn't. Mine just went open up and come on in. It was easy. I was shitting myself.
I wondered why you had such a smile on your face when you came back.
But the thing is, I didn't have any time to think about it. It was so matter of fact. Shall we?
Was it a woman as well?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have wanted a man sticking his fingers in any of my holes.
No, I don't know which one I would hate more.
Yeah, I would have found that more uncomfortable, I think.
I don't know which one.
And he would have had much bigger
That's
hands.
true. Yeah, that's true.
So physically uncomfortable, but I don't know. I was just happier that it was a woman doctor.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I was facing the other way anyway, so she didn't see my little winky or anything. But it was so kind of, we're here now. Maybe we may as well do it.
Well, yeah.
And because
I think they just try to make it as whatever, because it is whatever to them.
Yeah.
But she knows everyone feels so embarrassed.
You feel embarrassed. You feel stupid. Think, shit, I hope I wipe my ass properly after my 17th dump this morning. But yeah, it's I would recommend it. But only if you're of the age where it's required. I wouldn't just go and have it done for fun. Yeah, but I dare say there's a lot of people out. But I will say, again, this is an American thing. They seem to have it done all the time. Certainly once a year.
All the time.
Yeah. Like every night on the way home from work. You call in Wawa, you get a giant root beer, you go, you pay, then you move along, like the parking area in Aldi's. But in this, so you just bend over, you get the old yep, you're fine. And you carry, I think that's how it works in America
free
anyway.
Prostate exam with every tank of fuel.
Yeah, or with every
purchase.
every big gulp. When a big gulp, we'll really make you have a big gulp. Bend over. It's not the size of the hand, it's the size of the arthritic knuckle. No, it's just simple math. I don't know which finger they use, obviously. Because I literally...
I think it is index finger.
Yeah, I was told, roll on your side, basically pull a moonie. And all I heard was, and then you can feel a bit of a wiggle. Why am I describing a prostate exam live on YouTube? It's fun. I'm an open book. Apparently mine's very smooth, which a bit bigger than it should be, but, something's got to be. And I am 52. But, no, do you know what? I'm gonna make this a PSA. Just get it done, lads. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unless, of course, your doctor is Shaquille O'Neal. Then it might be a bit uncomfortable. But honestly, if anybody's nervous about having it done, just go and get it done. It's awesome.
I blame the Impractical Jokers. You'd never really watched that, have you? There is an episode.
I've seen lots of it, but I've never sat down and watched it as...
There is an episode where, as a forfeit, essentially, Mur gets a prostate exam in a room full of people while on stage, and then just to drive in the joke, they got a second opinion. So he got two in the space of 5 minutes in a room full of people.
That can't have been much fun.
That's psychotic, me. I only watch the punishments. Those punishment compilation videos, I find them hard to watch. I need the lightheartedness before, because the punishments are torture.
Yeah. I'm not very good at watching stuff that is like cringy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'll be cringy and uncomfortable and say things that are sort of on the edge of what I should and shouldn't say, but I struggle to watch it.
I love that sort of awkward humor. I find a lot of humor in discomfort and
Yeah.
embarrassment.
Yeah, but no, if you haven't had it done and you should be having it done, go and get it done, especially Storm Shadow. he definitely, I'll sponsor you. But remember this, right? This is very important. If it's a male doctor, it doesn't matter, does it? I just happen to feel more comfortable having a lady doctor doing the exam. But if it's a male doctor and he's doing the exam and massaging your shoulders,
Yeah.
you may have a problem. That's a well-timed plug.
But this did really make me laugh. It's not the camera you should be worried about. It's the sound crew.
I thought it was going to be. Do you know Callum and I had an idea? Well, was it your idea or was it my idea?
I don't know what you're going to say.
I'm claiming it anyway. Like we could have done the stream from outside.
Yeah, no, we were saying earlier it would have been cool to sit in the garden and do this, but we would have had to move all the equipment and, in this heat especially.
Yeah.
And then we would have had to do it
after,
pull it on. Yeah, and it's going to be late.
Yeah, but it would have been a pain in the ass. What time is this? Oh, it's only 7:20.
Yeah, 7:20.
The best kind of comedy is meant to make you laugh and then feel uncomfortable about it. It will make you think about issues that you normally would not address. Do you know, Dave?
Right, Dave.
I've never really thought of it like that, but I suppose you are right. But I don't know. It's just.
I mean, do you want me to be a nerd about this?
Yeah, go on.
Now we're going into my area of interest. Yes, 100%. I think a lot of comedy stems from discomfort, and relatability is paramount. If you're working within uncomfortable topics, it also has to be relatable, because I feel like some people will hide behind the make jokes about things. Right. I'm rambling because I have an example in mind, and I hope people understand what I'm saying. Ricky Gervais. I'm a big Ricky Gervais fan. I loved The Office, Derek, Extras, Afterlife, all of it. All his films. I think he's brilliant. I don't think he's a good stand-up comedian.
I've never found his stand-up comedy particularly, but I'm weird.
I think his writing is lazy. I think his last 3 specials have been one joke split into 3 hours, and I was very disappointed when his 2023 special came out, because it suddenly felt like one of my heroes was a old man shouting outdated nonsense on stage. And he will always, but I discuss the uncomfortable. It's like, you've been making like 3 trans jokes for the last 8 years of your career. You're not pushing any boundaries. You're just. Do you know what I mean? I think he's gone. He's a weird one, because yes, in theory, I agree with what he says when he defends his jokes, but I don't think his jokes are strong enough for that defense. And he will say, I've thought about that joke for longer than it took you to write that article. Yeah, that is a good point, except when it's not true. Because if I can dissect your joke and go, it's kind of, it might have made me chuckle, but it's not really funny. It's just offensive.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will get a laugh out of me because you said a naughty word. You know, I do like a joke that pushes boundaries.
Yeah.
But I think Ricky Gervais is a man who had his pulse on UK culture for 20 years, and he ain't got it anymore.
Yeah.
He really doesn't.
It's like if Grandpa started a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think Ricky Gervais is not culturally in sync the way he used to be. And
So-
since he stopped working with Steve Merchant, I think propped Ricky Gervais up a lot
Steve
more than
Merchant is funny.
a lot more than
He is funny.
I think Ricky Gervais needs to give Stephen Merchant a lot more credit for his
Yeah.
success.
See, so the Mojex comment that, yeah, I never used to like Ricky Gervais either, and I still don't like his stand-up comedy. I don't find it funny at all. And by the way, Ricky, if you happen to stumble across this, I would still love to have you on for a chat.
Oh yeah,
I know your agent said no last time, but, you know, until I saw Afterlife, that completely changed my opinion of Ricky Gervais, because somebody who can write something so emotionally charged.
He is a very good writer.
Yeah.
TV and film writer.
Afterlife
I don't believe
was-
he's a stand-up comic.
Afterlife was incredible.
Amazing show.
Absolutely incredible.
I do think, skill dude, Ricky is no Carlin. I do think Ricky Gervais tries to be a George Carlin, but misses the mark.
Yeah.
Because even if you go back and look at Carlin stuff now, there's a few things in there where I would now disagree with it because we're 30 years in the future, and what was potentially a progressive attitude in 19 whatever is times change, you know?
Yeah.
So what was progressive back then might even be seen as a little bit conservative now. It
Look at
depends.
this comment.
Right, Dave.
Ricky Gervais has the problem that he has a reputation for being brutal, so the nuance of jokes being removed and replaced by being as shocking as possible, that has an adverse effect.
Yeah. I just think he spent his career making fun of exactly what he became.
Yeah.
He's so unself-aware in his I don't even want to say political takes, because this is another thing that bugged me about his last special was he spent the first 20 minutes talking about highly divisive political topics, and then went into a 10-minute bit about how he doesn't interact with politics because it's comedy and politics and comedy should be set. And if you're preaching politics on stage, then that's a rally. It's not a comedy show. And it's like, mate, that's exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
And not only that, sorry, I'm on one now.
No.
Not only that, you only play to your own audience.
Yeah.
He will do, and don't get me wrong, he's earned that. He's a very successful man. If he wants to only play to rooms of his own audience, I have no gripe with that. But what I do have gripe with is claiming that you're challenging people and making people think when you're just recycling 10-year-old culture war arguments in your classic Gervais charming way and thinking you're just going to get away with it. We notice these things. Comedy fans, like real comedy fans, tend to pay attention to when someone is on the decline. And Ricky Gervais, I think he fell off a cliff a long time ago.
Yeah. But it's comedy. Like, as you can all probably tell now, Callum is a huge comedy fan. But it's standard. Like, he'll say, "Oh, have you seen this comedian?" And you'll show me clips on you, and most of the time I may titter a little bit. I only seem to find stand-up comedians funny if I'm watching them live with other people laughing, and most of the time I feel like I'm laughing at the other people laugh. You know, they say laugh is contagious. Yeah. I feel it's that more than
it's a different atmosphere
more than the jokes, you know, because a lot of the jokes that really make me pee my pants are just so stupid. Like the one I've told you about, the comedian we've seen in Benidorm lots of times.
Yeah.
And he's talking about his girlfriend being from Liverpool, and the implication is that people from Liverpool are like chavs, and you know, and he says when his girlfriend puts her pajamas on, he never knows whether she wants to go to bed or to Asda. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Check a picture in the Blinder Gang chat. I wish I could, Lindsay. Oh, actually, I could just pick my phone up, couldn't I? Just ignore me. Just pretend I know what I'm talking about. Picture in Blinder Gang chat.
Oh no, it's Andy. I also missed Mock of the Week. That was absolutely fantastic.
Hang on, what's going on here? Yeah, Lindsay, I like that picture.
What is it?
I don't know, it's weird. It's some person with a CC wig on, and then
I know this is blasphemous to the UK comedy scene after I just talked about how much of a comedy fan I am. What is the best Billy Connolly for me to really look at? Because I've never really done that deep dive.
Yeah, Billy Connolly's very
I
funny.
like Billy Connolly.
Very funny.
I've seen little bits of him here and there, but I've never really sat down and watched Billy Connolly.
Some of he's quite what can I say? How can I describe what Billy Connolly's like? He's quite brutal.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's quite brutal, he is. And it's all story based.
Yeah, I do like a good story.
You know, like
comedian.
Lee Evans. You know, like Lee Evans absolutely creases me.
Yeah,
Like
Lee Evans is the
buckles
goat.
me, but only when he's talking about his wife.
Yeah.
And it's only because 9 times out of 10, he's describing everyone's wife. Sorry, wives, you know this to be, you're all nuts. He is literally, and that's, I think, you know what you're saying about being relatable?
Yeah.
That's...
Oh, Lee Evans has that relatability nailed. Do you know who else is really good for that? Is controversial one if you're not, but is Louis C.K. He's a very, very good storyteller, and he will make you laugh. There's a bit he does, and it's essentially about families getting ready for holiday.
Yeah.
And there's a bit in it about how his vacation is that walk from shutting the boot to the front door. But Louis C.K. is obviously not a lot of people.
But again, then with comedians, somebody just said something in the side chat now. This made me think of Chubby Brown, massively successful comedian. People either hate him or love him, but you've never seen him on TV because his material is just so blue. He couldn't even get a Netflix special.
No, and Chubby Brown as well is his jokes for that time as well.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being honest, a lot of Chubby Brown's jokes were just like racist.
Yeah.
You know, another British example, Bernard Manning.
Yeah.
He was just a racist.
Jim Davidson. Yeah. All the comedians from Gen X's sort of, you know, I can remember Jim Davidson being on TV on a Saturday. I think he used to have a Saturday night show. We used to love it.
Yeah.
Funny as anything. But he was funny in like 1978, 1979.
And funny in 1978.
It's very, same as Bernard Manning.
Yeah, sometimes that ages very badly.
Yeah, there we are. Jethro is another one as well. Good evening, pal. Joey, you, pal. But very dated humor. It just would not work today.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ooh, no.
More Jess Mum used to love watching Ken Dodd. I saw a clip of Ken Dodd on TikTok yesterday, funny enough. And the joke he told was massive. I can't remember it, but it was massively inappropriate. So even if I could remember it, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what it was. But it's the problem for someone of your age, Callum, is that Billy Connolly's peak stand-up is audio only.
That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll listen to albums. I don't mind.
Have you listened to Max Boyce yet?
No,
See,
I haven't.
You can't be Welsh and be a comedy fan and not me and Billy Williams.
Okay.
Part 1 and part 2.
Yeah,
it's all just rugby stories, and he does like it's almost like spoken word. It's ode to Barry Island, and you know, that sort of thing. And I listened to it a couple of months back when I was editing, and I found it just as funny now. And it's all really stupid. But because he's so Welsh, and you could literally say, oh yeah, I was speaking, because I'm sure somebody in the side chat will be eager to correct me, but I'm sure Max Boyce was from Merthyr. So he's literally from just up the road. So he sounds like everyone we speak to all the time anyway. And I think that adds another layer to the things he's saying and makes them more funny, because, you know, when he talks about people, we've all spoken to people like that. You know, he's on about his best pal in school, Billy Williams. Well, it's the same as, you know, I was saying to you, Glinny, thank you, Raband. Yeah, he is. He's from Glinny. So he's literally just up the road.
Yeah.
barely out of Swansea.
Is Max Boyce still alive?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he is. Yeah, yeah. But his humor, it's you know, I was saying to you, like his best pal Billy, and I was saying to you, I was talking about my grandfather and saying that he used to tell me war stories about his
Yeah.
best mate Nobby Clark.
Yeah.
It's stories like that.
Yeah.
They're funny because they're so Welsh that it just makes them funny.
It's back to what we were saying about relatability as well. So, you know, you as a casual comedy fan will say,
Yeah.
you know, you enjoy the odd thing, but you will only enjoy super relatable to you comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Brian Pop Robson, nice flex. Brian knows Mickey Flanagan.
Do you?
Yeah. Another comedian who I've
I
never even
like
raised
Mickey
the corners of
Flanagan.
my mouth
Yeah.
watching him.
Oh, very funny.
The Goon Show with Peter Sellers. See, Peter Sellers.
Name, I recognize that
Yeah,
name.
Peter, the Pink Panther films.
Yeah.
Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Peter Sellers.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Generationally, we're probably talking about different Pink Panther films.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Because I'm talking about the one with Steve Martin in it.
Oh, Christ.
So no,
Yeah.
to me, Inspector Clouseau is Steve Martin.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah, but no, but like you say, that does tie into the generational thing. They're different.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
Which is weirdly kind of in a roundabout way, that's what this episode has become, is talking about generational differences.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I suppose it's a good way to distract from the actual title. Good evening, Michael. How are you? Faulty Tower. See, now, this is a thing, see. I'll just say, I don't think Monty Python is funny at all. But Faulty Towers is hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. But I've watched Monty Python. I just don't see why everybody goes nuts about them.
Monty Python, I think, for the time, they were really, really pushing the boundaries of comedy. They were speaking out against, religious establishments, and they were really. I can't. I'm trying to think of like a modern day example of who my Monty Python were, because I don't find Monty Python stuff all that funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't made for my generation.
No.
I know people my age who love Monty Python.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it for what it was at the time.
Yeah.
I do find, is it John Cleese or Cleese?
John Cleese,
yeah. I find him funny, and he's Basil Fawlty, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Because he's an interesting one, because if we're talking about stuff aging poorly and generational divide, I've seen people online accusing John Cleese of being a conservative, which is interesting because if you know Monty Python and John Cleese, they were like super progressives, but the generational, what was progressive in his day,
doesn't necessarily
it can be
apply.
misconstrued as conservative in 2025.
Mhm.
It's interesting, and I think that's why it is important to always, your opinions always need to evolve and grow, because times change.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. The things that are important to me now aren't the same things that were important to me when I was 15 years old.
No, definitely
Then it was just new trainers, and
but
it's only 2 years till I can drive a car.
But the things that are important to you now aren't the same things that are important to you at 35.
No, exactly.
Or 40, 45.
Yeah.
It constantly changes.
Yeah, I can see a lot of John Cleese references. Now, don't mention them all.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with John, have you seen any Faulty Towers at all?
No.
So there's another actor in it. What the hell is his name now? Plays Manuel, the Spanish waiter. But anyway, it's a really Andrew Sachs, that's it. Because he's actually used very well, so he's extremely posh.
Yeah.
But he's like a blithering idiot Spanish waiter in Faulty Towers. And it's like, now you wouldn't be able to do it because people would, it's cultural appropriation, or it's cultural stereotyping, or not all Spanish people are waiters, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was the back and forth between Basil and Manuel, that was some of the funniest things about Faulty Towers, just the interactions. But yeah, you've definitely got to watch it. I think it will be right up your street.
I'm sorry if this is boring for either you or viewers, but can I give you a comedy nerds thingy on that? So if I can just make sure I got this correctly, Manuel is like a Spanish waiter and his English isn't very good, maybe. Yeah. And then he's interacting with who's he interacting with?
Basil.
And the comedy comes from the miscommunication and the cultural divide.
And the fact that Basil slaps him every time he does something wrong.
Okay, yeah, but that's literal slapstick comedy then. Though.
Yeah.
But and then people will say, oh, you can't get away with that these days.
Yeah.
And it's not that. It's just not a funny observation anymore because there's more of a like cultural bridges between countries. So when people go like, but it's just old and tired, I think what they mean is we kind of know we're past those stereotypes. Yeah. And I will say, controversially, stereotypes can be very funny.
Yeah, of course they can.
There's nothing I love more than a white people joke. Yeah. Absolutely buckles me.
And that's what people are doing every time they mention sheep.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's funny.
Yeah, it's just silly. But yeah, I think the reason you couldn't do that today is just because you could, but the miscommunication and the humor would have to come from a different angle because it would just be lazy and tired for the joke to be, haha, silly foreigner.
Yeah.
Because it's like, the world's a smaller place now.
And times have changed again.
Yeah.
There we are. So Padge's comment, I've left on the screen for a reason. Mind your language. That was basically, Padge, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I could be misremembering this, but wasn't that the one where it was a load of people from other countries, India, China, countries from all over the world, and they were in the UK and they were learning to speak English? Is that am I remembering that? I think I am. The whole program was basically about this class teaching people who would come over from other countries how to speak English so that they could kind of that is the one. I tell you what, it is so racist.
It's probably just
it is literally, it's every, that clip that always seems to do the rounds on the internet, but it's never the actual footage, and it's two Indian guys arguing.
Yeah,
you know the one I mean. It's been used over
bloody.
Yeah, it's been used over dog fighting, over all sorts of things. But it was basically it was like British actors, like doing that accent kind of thing. And back then in the 1970s, it was just that's
people
funny.
Just did it, yeah.
It's all that kind of thing. But then, it's the same, and I've never understood this, right? But at one point it's not that far back in time, but it was acceptable for people to perform in blackface.
Socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
But it was very common, the black and white minstrels. It was a big sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I can't even I can't see how that could have ever been considered to be something that was appropriate to do, but for some bizarre reason, that's what entertainment was in that time period. Early, I don't know, I'm thinking Al Jolson, 1920s, 1930s, back in those days.
Yeah, there's a lot of deeper reasonings behind that. Obviously, they didn't want to hire black people, so they would just get white people to play them, and that way they could, exaggerate the features and make a mockery out of it. And
exactly.
And you say, and this ties into stuff being old and tired. I don't think it was ever okay. No, people just didn't listen to black people back then, so they didn't care.
Yeah.
I know that's a bit of a deep
Yeah.
But it is like they
Yeah.
just weren't listening, and they was
Yeah.
like, I don't care what you say, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I would never say anything about sheep or cliffs. Well, the joke's on you, Bubba, because I don't know any sheep called Cliff. But yeah, looking at the side chat now, Till Death Do Us Part, Alf Garnett. It was a comedy show about a really racist white guy who lived in England. That's what it was. And that was comedy in the 1970s. No, that's newer than that, in the 1980s. Love Thy Neighbor.
But you can, I feel like I'm going way too technical with it though, but you can still, people still do that kind of stuff now. I guess it's satirical. And as long as the punchline lands on, isn't racism silly, you can kind of, you know, you can get, and the term get away with it is silly. You're not getting away with anything. Like, I'm not a big, what's his name? Anthony Jeselnik. I'm not a big fan of his, but he made a good point. He was like, it's not getting away with it. If everyone turns on you, like universally, it's not that they're too woke and you're too offended. It's, you didn't tell the joke well enough. And there are obviously exceptions to that rule. Jokes written in print, removing context of the room, etc., etc. I understand all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, lazy comedians hiding behind weak writing.
So Old Poi says that Till Death Do Us Part, that was the Alf Garnett thing. They were taking the mickey out of racist. Yeah, I know. But it was framed as a comedy show.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm saying though, is you can still do that because it's satirical.
Yeah.
Because as long as the joke aren't racists silly.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping you making that same show in 2025.
Yeah.
You just got to make it current and relevant.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing as well. See, the shows back then, they weren't doing that necessarily. They were just...
No, if everyone's laughing, you're usually all right. But if you're making kind of like on the knuckle jokes and there's only one group of people laughing, maybe the joke didn't fall where it should have.
Yeah, exactly. There we are. A certain Jam logo. Again, Robinson's. You've seen that. You've seen the policeman and they pull out the time capsule and there's a Jim will fix it badge in there, a xylophone, which is the little musical instrument. You've seen that one, yeah?
Yeah.
So, and the first thing he pulls out, the little doll.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say that.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm not. Yeah. But that was literally the logo for a brand of jam. Yeah.
I saw one of those on a tattoo shop in Thailand.
Yeah, I remember you sent me a picture to show me.
Wild.
Yeah, I know. It's just really weird how things that were perfectly acceptable 25 years ago are now that neither of us were even comfortable enough to say that character was called a golly.
Something. I know,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
but
wild.
years ago, it was the logo for it was in everyone's cupboards.
Yeah.
In every house in Wales, probably in the UK. Crazy. USA has always been a racist country, but the idea is to see past that to a greater goal together. I don't know.
Yeah. We're talking about very...
Yeah, this is getting really deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm starting to sweat. Maybe it's not as hot as I thought it was. Maybe I'm just not comfortable talking about this.
I don't think we're going to solve racism on this show. But, you know, weirder things have happened. We started a religion last week.
Exactly. Paj had one. Not anymore. Everyone needs to be wrapped up in cotton wool these days. Which again goes back to what I meant earlier when I poorly explained myself when I said that life is easier now. I just meant that people are softer now. I just meant things are so much easier and it doesn't matter. We've moved on. But lots of snowflakes growing up now. I know. And the thing that grips my shit more than anything else is this air of entitlement everyone seems to have. Where it's got to the point now where it's more unusual now to have somebody not complain or whinge about something.
Yeah, people have got direct access to mourn now, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. I imagine that was originally about a freed slave that was a protest against the slave trade. Context is often lost.
Probably.
But yeah, I honestly don't know. I really don't. But
you know, like
yeah.
that. Is it the Fresh Prince, the meme where it's like he's a little confused, but it is the what is it? But his
Oh, I don't-
heart's in the right place. I can't. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't.
If you don't get the reference, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no,
It's
I
just going
don't.
to confuse things.
Yeah, I don't get that one. I don't know the hell we ended up here when we started off talking about
I have no idea either.
people being weird in the comment section, but no, it's
I think it all does kind of tie together.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about, you know, people
yeah, the offense police and people,
misinterpretation
yeah,
of stuff, and I
Yeah.
guess it all is
yeah, I
in
know
a
what you mean.
roundabout way kind of relevant.
Mm. Well,
Although I don't know how we ended up talking about race. That is yeah.
Please subscribe. Michael says you're a good person, Creaky, more or less. That's why I came here. The thing is, when I say I don't care what anybody thinks about me, I mean that. I don't care if you don't like my glasses or you think I'm an idiot because I've got face tattoos or you don't like my beard or whatever. Pick a flaw. I've got loads, but so have you. It's just some people are happier to acknowledge the fact that they have flaws. But it's like I said right at the beginning, you only know about me what I want you to know about me. Do you think that would be a good way to say it, Carl?
Yeah, I think you got to have boundaries as
Yeah.
well as, you know, you share what you're happy to share with
Yeah.
your audience, which is quite a lot, to be fair. It's
Yeah.
not like you've got
Yeah,
this
no.
secret life.
No, Jesus, no. I'm not like a ninja on a Sunday morning, you know, going around rescuing damsels in distress, and you know, I'm not running a blue chip company and earning $10 billion a year. I just haven't mentioned it. You know, what you see is it's me, but it's not me as well at the same time.
It's just like a slice of who you are,
Yeah.
but no one, maybe with the example of Chris Shapley a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
No one really will
No.
ever truly know who you are. That's
Yeah.
why assumptions in comment sections are always, especially for me, I guess, because you're my dad,
Yeah.
they're quite humorous because
Yeah.
they'll make wild assumptions. I'm like, if you knew him personally, you would be giggling at how far from the truth that is. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people would just make these assumptions, and I'm like, no, you're so far off.
Yeah, it's weird, but that's the thing here. Maybe that's why. Maybe I do get plenty of mean comments, but I just don't interpret them that way myself because quite often I just find them funny because they're so unimaginative that.
My favorite comment I ever had on a video when I was uploading was someone meant it as a insult. I made a video about Machine Gun Kelly and his embarrassing antics.
Yeah.
And someone told me I looked like a bootleg Post Malone. And it tickled me so much that to this day, it's still my Twitter header.
Don't tell him, and I know he doesn't watch the streams, but do you think Jordan is starting to look a bit Post Malone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
He is, isn't he?
I think that's kind of a compliment, though.
To be the dreads. I know Post Malone hasn't got dreads anymore.
No, he never had dreads. He had braids.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's just because Jordan's got the dreads. It just reminds you, because his beard's quite bushy, you know.
Yeah,
he looks like Post Malone.
Jordan has the exact same beard shape as Travie McCoy. That's what I've noticed. He's got more of a Travie McCoy look to him.
Yes, he has actually. You say, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael liked that bootleg Post Malone.
It's a good one, isn't it? That's why it made me laugh. She clearly was like angry at a Machine Gun Kelly fan and thought this'll get him. But it's like 4 years later and I still tell people about it because it was so funny.
It's easy to be anonymous when you don't have an accent. Exactly. That's how I pull it all off. One day I'll speak to you in my real speaking voice and you'll be amazed. You'll be absolutely amazed and baffled. That's why I can't stream for like 10 hours because I don't think I would be able to maintain the creaky blinder voice for that long. Just ask Chris, he'll tell. He's a vet. Vets don't lie. Ooh, super chat. Thank you. I feel very fortunate to be your and Mrs. Blinder's friends as well as getting to know Callum.
You need to get over here, Chris.
Exactly.
I need someone that I can nerd out to Kevin Smith with.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not coming until that fancy American car's ready for me. I just pretended I didn't want to come there. Yeah, it's just once you told me that the car, once you told me that the beast was not going to be ready, I just changed my mind. I didn't want to come. Didn't want to come at all.
Oh, do you know what's really devastating as well? Speaking of Chris, is Kevin Smith's hosting his 55th birthday party in Smod Castle in New Jersey, and that's near Chris, and that really annoys me.
I tell you what,
Jealous.
this ultra low latency definitely works. Me just said she loves some Kevin Smith while just as you started talking about Kevin Smith, so it works. It actually works. Creaky has the most amazing head of baldness. I know. Freshly shaved today.
Creaky, did you watch Dogma? No, he didn't. And I've tried to get him to. It'll do my head in now because it's going to bug me because you won't watch it for ages and ages and ages. And then one day you'll go, oh, Cal, guess what I watched last night? Oh, it was awesome. I go, yeah, I've been telling you that for like a decade now.
Yeah, that's generally what I do. I tell you what, Bright, it's funny you should mention that. I've got a story about that. And I can't remember if I've told this on stream before, but we got 5 minutes left. So
go for it.
I'll tell the story. So when we went to see Chris for it was the first time, I think this was Chris, wasn't it? Yeah. So we wanted to go to Atlantic City at the Las Vegas of the East Coast or whatever. But it was good fun. We really enjoyed it. And we stayed in one of these casino resorts. I think we spent 2 nights there. And we were at the bar in the big sort of... Remember I sent you a picture of a fish tank?
Did you just knock that tissue over again?
No, I knocked Leon Lush off the desk this time.
Oh, oops.
He deserves it. He never replies when I email him asking him to collabs. Yeah, stuff there. So we were at the bar. Did I send you a picture of a fish tank? And it had been on, you know, that program on TV where they make fish tanks and everything. It's like one of the reality shows.
Yeah, I think you did.
But anyway, so we were there and we were at the bar. And this American couple, about the same age as me and Mrs. Blinder, Mammy to Callum, they just started talking to us and they were really nice. Oh, where are you staying? Where are you from? All this, that. And they were chit-chatting. And then, don't ask me why, because I've never done this ever in my life. And I'm surprised Mammy didn't slap me at the time. And if she had, thank you, Dave Geordie. Dave Godry.
Right, Dave.
Blows my mind every time.
I double press then. And they said, oh, do you want to meet up for drinks later on or after dinner? And we'll go into the casino. We come here every couple of months. We'll show you how it's done and everything. And I just gave them one my mobile number.
Yeah.
And so I can't remember why, but I needed to speak to Chris about something. So I sent him a WhatsApp and I said, oh, we just met this lovely couple. They exchanged numbers. They're from this place. And he just went, don't go and meet them.
Yeah.
He said, do not go and meet them, whatever you do. He said they're swingers. He said they're just trying to get in your pants.
So funny.
But I couldn't even, I don't know if that means I'm not very good at reading social cues. But there we are. See?
Yeah, someone just said.
So low latency definitely works. But yeah, I had no idea. I was just excited to be in Atlantic City and I'd never felt so cool.
I think that was just a mishap, or you didn't pick up what they were putting down, I don't think.
Yeah, and then we found out about the old upside down pineapple. I didn't even know that was a thing. But apparently an upside down pineapple means
swingers.
Come and get it.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any pineapples. I mean, they were both drinking pina coladas. I don't know if Is it? Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So maybe I would have got my first prostate exam a long time
Yeah.
before. But yeah, but the old upside down pineapple, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's funny because cruises are well known for it as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
One of them.
I saw a TikTok video a while back, and it was, I guess, a husband and wife on holiday,
Yeah.
and she was in stitches recording her husband by the pool
Yeah.
because he was sitting there with there was a t-shirt and it had an upside down pineapple on it, but he
Yeah.
didn't know what that meant, obviously.
Right.
And loads of people were like giving him like a bit of a look. Some people like a cheeky look, other people a
Yeah.
look of disgust.
Yeah.
One woman came up and like brushed his knee as she walked past.
Yeah.
And he was just looking so confused.
Yeah. See,
and his wife's behind there.
that's the same as me. I wouldn't have
tickled.
had a clue, but we didn't have any issues like that on the cruise because nobody spoke to me. I mean, literally nobody. 9 times out of 10, if I go somewhere new, most people, there we are. Remember when we were up in this YouTube event and I said, have you noticed that like nobody has come and sort of tried to speak to me?
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, am I?
No, it's people misjudge your look a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what it is. You maybe to someone who is not used to being around heavily tattooed people, you look unapproachable to people.
Yeah, but I said the same thing, and I again, Chris's comment is still on the screen. Sorry, Chris, I don't mean to put you on the spot. But it's like the number of people who were looking at me in New York, like in Times Square specifically, and in the end, when I was in the tattoo shop getting a new tattoo done on my face, I said to JR that mine and Fat Joe's tattooist.
Yeah, just you and Fat Joe,
Yeah,
you know?
you know.
The boys.
Yeah, the boys, the squad.
Yeah.
His crew is actually called Terror Squad.
I was going to say, he is from the squad.
Yeah. And I said to him, I said, I didn't expect to stand out in America. Now, if I go
New York City,
if I go to Tembe on a Sunday afternoon, yeah, I stand out like a knob in a fanny field, don't I?
Yeah.
But I didn't think that would be the case all right, Chris, stop trying to get in on the big time. Yeah, we know he's your tattooist as well. But I really didn't expect it in America.
I don't think
purely because it was America.
I don't think it's America. I think if you went to any, if you're in New Jersey or wherever, it's a bit smaller. But it was the fact it was New York City.
Yeah.
That is what really surprised me when you said,
yeah,
everyone's talking to me,
well.
looking at me.
Yeah, yeah. And
I've just had an amazing
JR said probably, he said, no, Megan, no, this was without them here. This was just based on this, just based on appearance. And he said most people are probably looking at you. You've got tattoos, you've got your face tattooed, bald head. I had my dreads at the time on the back of my head. They said they're probably trying to figure out, are you like
famous?
Are you from a band and they can't quite imagine who you are? Or he said they probably think you're a tattooist. And it was funny because JR, proper New York, cool guy, right? I got more tattoos than him.
Yeah.
He said, I wouldn't have as many tattoos as you.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? I just found it weird in America of all places. You know, there's so many. You know, if I knock that picture again, I'm going to punch it off the wall or move my desk 2 inches to the left, maybe. Remind me next week. I just thought because America, you see so many different people, so many different appearances, different skin colors, different heights, weights. Everything is so different, and so there's so many people with like unique looks, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just thought that I would have kind of blended in.
Yeah,
but it was literally, and I'm not exaggerating, it was literally like people would be like, and it's like, have I like got toilet paper stuck to my heel or something? It was weird. For guys, knock yourself out with tattoos. Women, not attractive. That's your opinion, though, Skill Dude. I happen to think that heavily tattooed women are very attractive.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. But if that's your preference, then that's your preference. But that certainly doesn't mean that women with tattoos are less attractive. Chris is considered to be heavily tattooed, and I don't have nearly as many as Audrey. Yeah, it's bizarre, Chris, isn't it? And yours are all tasteful and subtle. So you don't. Yeah, right. Plug. Everybody say plug.
We got a sound muted on TikTok because of that.
Yeah, we
At
did.
the end of the last stream, because I said,
Yeah.
in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Butt Plug, I clipped that and put it on the end of a TikTok, and it got the whole sound removed for potential sexual
because Callum,
language.
Because Callum is obsessed with talking about butt plugs.
Oh, yeah. I bring it up every week.
I don't like boxy-shaped tattoos on a curvy body is attractive, but tattoos are hot, either gender. Yeah. It's something you either like or you dislike, and I completely understand that. But I'll do whatever I fancy. If you like it, cool. I'm glad you like it. If you don't, aren't you lucky I didn't ask to put it on your body? But, yes.
Unwanted comments. That's another common thing of tattoos is people just giving you their unwanted opinion. I didn't ask you what your opinion was on my tattoos, but they'll tell you.
I've had a woman, an older woman, older than me and Mammy, but younger than my parents, look me up and down and say, "What on earth have you done to yourself?"
Nuts, isn't it?
And I just look back at her dead in the eyes. And but so right, sorry,
I was going to say you missed a bit out of the story.
So she said, "What have you done?" Well, I like tattoos, and ooh, I would hate to think that I was going to look like you or something along those lines. Oh no! Sorry,
what are you going to look like when you're older?
What are you going to look like when you're older? And I just looked straight into her eyes and said, "Hell of a lot cooler than you are."
Yeah.
Hell of a lot cooler than you do now, and you're already old. And I just walked off and went into Spa.
The whole...
It was a proper...
The
drop.
The tattoos when you're older argument that boring people like to give is a really funny one to me because two things. One, who gives a shit what they look like when they're 70 plus? No one's particularly fussed on. Everyone's body is disgusting at a certain age. Sorry, Bri. And two, have you ever seen an elderly person with heavy tattoo coverage? It looks
awesome. Absolutely awesome. When it's all started to blow out because they're old.
Yeah.
And so is their skin. And then it all bleeds into each other. And then you've got this and you looking at it and you think, ooh. So that's
I was gonna say
one tattoo on his forearm. My wife's grandfather, right? Proper legend, right? One tattoo that he had done like when he was a kid. And you couldn't see what it was even.
No.
But one day I basically, Fred, can I see you tattoo? I've never seen it properly. And he showed it. And it was a little cross because he was Christian when he was religious, very religious.
Yeah.
But it was just basically a little cross and it was his only tattoo. But it was so cool because looking at it, I was thinking, this tattoo was done like 80 years ago.
Well, yeah, when I was a child.
80 years ago.
Obviously, he was 99 when I died, so he was always an old man when I was little, and I could never even work out what the tattoo was.
Yeah.
But it was just a smudge on his arm.
Yeah,
it always was.
But when I was I know where my initial liking for tattoos came from.
Where?
My Uncle Alec.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it actually? Yeah.
He was proper cool, he was. Raging alcoholic. He had a terrible drink problem.
Yeah.
But he was in the Merchant Navy and they just used to get given rum all the time. And you know, what are you gonna do? It's just but anyway, but he had all these like Sailor Jerry stuff, like hand poke. A lot of them he'd had done in the Pacific Islands, and because he was in the Navy, so he sailed all over the world. And I used to like, and he was a really good artist. And occasionally he would look after me and my younger brother. And like if my mother and father, if they wanted to go out and have a meal or go out and play darts or whatever, and he used to draw for us, and he used to like draw tattoos on me, and then I would color them in myself, and then I would start drawing them on. Because when I was a kid, I always had like something
like me
written on my hand, or or on the inside of my forearm, or if one of my mates who I knew, I'd say, "Oh, bro, can you do like an anchor and a skull and I know that my interest in tattoos comes from when I was like maybe 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's when I started getting into it. But then it was like there was one tattoo shop in Swansea. It was Dye and Pie.
Yeah.
And it's like your options were dye or pie. Simple as that. They work was identical. All stamp tattoos off the wall.
Yeah.
Like £15, £10. You know, this is back before
Yeah,
tattooists became rock stars.
There was no going in and going, I want this, but with like the influence of this and a little bit of this, but the color's different to this.
Yeah.
It was, which one of those do you want?
Which one? No, we do that tattoo, that tattoo, that tattoo, and that. And it was a leek with a scroll through it with Cymru, or a daffodil with Wales, or a Welsh dragon, or it was all that sort of traditional.
Yeah.
You know, or obviously the Swansea City logo, you know, the
like
Cyril the Swan.
Band.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, when I can still remember the smell and just everything about my first experience of being tattooed. And literally from the second I felt the needle touch my skin, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have loads of these. I just knew straight away. And of course, I thought, because I was only 17, so I lied about my age and everything, but they didn't care. They didn't give a crap. It wasn't like it is now. And of course, my mother went mental, but I had a little, I haven't even got it anymore. It's under this tattoo. And it was a single rose, a small one, with a scroll through it, and I had "ma'am" put in it because I thought that would butter it up, but it didn't. It didn't work. But she hates it now. Like if I get a new tattoo now, I can see her trying to look without looking like she's looking.
Yeah, she always does it whenever you turn up with a new tattoo. Or if you show it to her, she goes, "Oh, what do you need that for? You're already so handsome."
Yeah. But yeah, it's just another example of you either like it or you don't. And if you don't, great. Don't have any. But if you do, have as many as you want.
Yeah.
You know, if you can put yourself through the pain required to get tattooed, because it is painful.
Yeah, it does it. Anyone who tells you it doesn't is lying.
It makes me laugh. Yeah, it always makes me laugh when people say, "Oh yeah, I had a tattoo and I didn't even feel it." Did they do it like after you died?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah, no, you definitely feel it.
I'm seeing some needle chatter in the side saying about don't like needles.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Andy. I hate needles, so no tattoos. Someone said my nephew hates needles, has loads of tattoos. I am absolutely terrified of needles.
You were terrible for needles.
I don't know how this didn't come up last week when we were talking about your fears, but needles.
Yeah.
But obviously, I have tattoos. I have quite a lot of tattoos. It's different. It's not the needle, it's the injection. My fear is like syringes more than medical needles. That's stuff, the sucking stuff. I don't want a blood test. I don't want this. I don't want that.
The thing is as well, it's like the fear of needles. And so Callum's a perfect example. You can be fearful of getting an injection or getting a needle, but getting tattooed is not the same thing. A tattoo needle is literally only piercing the first couple of layers of your skin. It's not going in. It's not going.
It's also not
down
drawing.
To the bone, and it's not drawing. It's not like sucking blood out of you or anything like that. So I think fear of needles and getting tattooed. I know some people will sort of tie the two things together, but I think they're very separate things myself.
A lot of people,
or they are for me anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't mind when I go and have a blood test, because I'm old. I have to have blood tests about every 6 minutes generally. They starting to call me by my first name in the blood testing center. But I'll watch them draw the blood. And I'll say, no, you won't get anything out of that vein. It never works. Just try this one. And I always say, You know, they always start with my right arm because I'm right-handed. It's like, yeah, but no, you can't even see my veins. I'm covered in tattoos that side. But I don't have any issues with needles at all. Receiving them or, you know, seeing somebody else. You know, some people can't even, like, if I was having a booster injection, but you probably wouldn't want to look even at me having it done with you. But I will literally,
yeah.
oh, hang on, I can't see yet. Oh, go on then, stick it in.
Yeah.
Hope nobody clips that.
If someone walked in here now to give you like an injection, even sitting here, even if I knew I wasn't getting one, my hands would just start shaking now. Just around it.
Yeah. Is that a THC bit, Mr. Blinder? It is not, my friend. It is not, because they are illegal and you cannot buy them in the UK.
That's a crime.
Yeah. Legally blind guy, how are you, pal? Callus. If the syringe was shaped like a plug, would you be okay with it?
It depends where it's going.
Storm actually cleaned up that plug earlier on. He called it a butt 13.8 amp or whatever. I can't bloody remember. No, 13 amp. That's a common one for yeah. Now going back to thumbs and not the, you know, not the ones that get shoved up your bum. Yeah, have you liked the smash button yet? Told you I was going to steal that. FEP review. Thank you. Got to run now. Thanks for the interesting subject. Oh, thank you for sticking around and watching them. Legally blind guy, autocorrect. Sorry, autocorrect. What? Callus.
Yeah, Callus. Yeah.
Can you? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Dr. Apocalypse is a naughty boy. So we go from creepy being about good person to expat Taffy's book to comedy to racism to tattoos to being fearful of needles. A typical Creaky stream again. Oh, you knows it, Marsh. That's what I mean. This is why this is another part of the reason why I wanted to switch this back to Sundays, because Tuesday it didn't feel rushed, but it felt, and I want structure, because structure allows Callum to be able to take these episodes and flip them up, blah, blah, blah. 3-pin 13 amp, that's what he called it. A butt 3-pin 13 amp. I've lost my train of thought now. The more Jack has licked the smash button, whatever floats your boat. What was I saying, Carl?
So you were responding to this comment.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to switch it back to the Sunday, because on a Sunday, you know, we come out, we're starting at 6 o'clock. You know, it's 8:20 now. We've been going 2 hours and 20 minutes. We've had good fun. We've talked about all sorts of things. But I think for me and the way I like to communicate, I think this is what my live streams or podcast or whatever you want to call it is meant to be like. It's meant, because how many times have we said, Cal, you know, when we've been having a general conversation about YouTube or about any topic really, and we've said, yeah, we should have waited until the live stream to talk about it, because it was we were having the conversation and we found it interesting, and generally speaking,
yeah, sometimes
other people will find it interesting as well.
Sometimes we'll start a conversation and one of us go,
no, stop. We'll talk about that on stream tonight.
Yeah.
So Expat Taffy has disappeared. No, he has still got a channel, but he hasn't uploaded to it. I check every so often. But this is why I don't like wearing headphones. See, you know, now these headphones they're so uncomfortable now because of my glasses. I'll have to go back to Britney Spears over the year ones, but yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Troy is still over on Twitter on his own, not Twitter. I'm so cool, aren't I? What's it called? Twitch. Your vids and streams keep me sane, along with MC Toon, Dave McKeegan, and Simon Dan. Still no accent. I see love from Treharis.
Where is that?
Oh, do up the valleys.
Oh, valleys.
Valleys boy. He's
a proper taff.
Oh yeah, proper taff. Am I gonna do the 5-day stream you mentioned a few lives ago? I'm working up to it. I do want to do it, but I have got to, because See, I've got two options here. I can either do it and forego making videos that week, or I have to try and do it. I have to try and get ahead with recording videos, so that I can do it. So I'm still sort of. I just didn't. Yeah. Well, please subscribe. Tuesday night didn't feel right for you to be doing a live stream. It just felt odd. Sunday is just right. Makes a nice start end to the last next week. I watch, but don't get involved so often. That's the thing. See, it's
They do feel more fluid. I
Yeah.
know we've only done 2 on us. Oh, 2 or 3?
but it
3?
already feels more like it's meant to feel.
Yeah, it does feel a lot less pressure, and like we said, a lot of the times you'd kind of look at the time and you'd be like, all right, it's 10 to, we're going to be finishing up at 8. So
Yeah.
you'd kind of hold off on a topic
Yeah.
when really the conversation, well, today is a good example. The conversation felt like it was coming to a natural end about 35 minutes ago. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Yeah. Something popped into my Swede and
then what's the point finishing? Because
yeah,
we're in the middle of
exactly.
it.
Exactly. Somebody's stolen my mouse pointer. You haven't seen it, have you? Oh, there it is. Somebody's just asked me, can I remember any dad jokes? My sex life is like a Ferrari. I don't have a Ferrari. Why did the elephant ask what did the elephant ask the naked man? How'd you breathe out of that tiny thing?
Where are you reading these from?
Did you hear about a man who installed windows in his butt? It was a pain in the ass. What does every Tickle Me Elmo get before it leaves the factory? No, 2 testicles. What does every Tickle Me Elmo get before it leaves the factory? 2 testicles. Oh, dear me. What's it called when a chameleon can't change colours? A reptile dysfunction. Welcome to the Premature Ejaculation Club. Our meetings don't take very long. What comes after death? Necrophiliacs. How many flies does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2, but the real question is how they get in there. And I will leave you with this. I really am going to finish the stream now. This isn't a joke. This is poignant. Without nipples, boobs would be completely pointless. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. Love you. Bye.
Thank you all for watching Creaky Live. Don't forget to follow me on all of your social media platforms. Have a good day and have a creaky week.